Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the mid-season finale tomorrow night for Season 9. In this one, we're going to first give our thoughts before we do a Q&A on Angela Kang saying that Season 10 is already in the works. Alright, man, and link will be in the description to digitalspy.com so you guys can go ahead and check this one out. The Walking Dead Season 10 already in the works, and then we'll go through some more kind of articles and stuff that's out there in the Walking Dead world right now, leading into tomorrow night's big episode. Can't wait to see it, and a few of you guys Q&A questions at the end. So it says there that, quote, "We want to get a head start on things. The Walking Dead 10 season may not have been given the official green light yet, but that hasn't stopped its creators from beginning to work on it. Showrunner Angela Kang has revealed things are underway for the next chapter in the AMC show, which includes a return for Maggie." And it says here that she told comicbook.com, "I'm already working on Season 10 stuff. Trying to get a little bit of a jump on it. So after I do this round of press calls today, I'm actually going to jump back in with a couple of my senior writers, and we're going to talk about some stuff. Just because it's like we want to get a head start on things. But it's sort of like the process doesn't end on our side of it because it takes about a year and a half to make a season of the show, but we always air about the same time every year. So there's always about like a half year overlap," Kang added, of a return for Lauren Cohen's Maggie. Quote, "We will hopefully come back to Maggie's story in Season 10. So that's pretty sweet, man. I'm happy to hear that they're already kind of getting started on The Walking Dead Season 10 and having some ideas, starting to kind of formulate a plot or starting to get the writing process kind of started or going on where they want to take the next season and what they want to do with The Walking Dead. And it also, there's been some articles that apparently Angela Kang has been kind of texting with Lauren Cohen to see if she wants to return for Maggie next year in The Walking Dead Season 10. But of course, they kind of wouldn't know yet because I think they have to see kind of how Whiskey Cavalier goes first and to have to see what happens with that. But it says here, "Lauren and I have been texting about some things, and we're hopefully going to schedule a conversation. But Georgie's group is definitely out there in the world doing some stuff, and I have some notion of what they're up to. They may also be part of the universe in general. That's really up to Scott Gimple, but we'll see how it all plays out. In our minds, there's a lot of things going on in the world around our characters and the way that it intersects with our story. That's part of what we're talking about currently." So it sounds like how the whole world kind of fits together and how, you know, all the different groups that you have out there. Of course, Scott Gimple is responsible for kind of the overall universe of The Walking Dead. So Fear, the original series, and then, of course, the movies. And so how much of that is going to connect or how they're going to do crossovers and things like that, she obviously has to include him or talk to him about that and kind of set things up with, you know, these other groups out there like the Commonwealth with Georgie, if it is in fact the Commonwealth. That's going to be another group that Maggie has kind of, it's been confirmed now through Jesus that she left to go there. And so, you know, that's another group that's out there as well, too, that they could bring into the original Walking Dead series, of course, which they already have. But who knows? Maybe connect it with the movies later on or Fear the Walking Dead later on. So just to recap the article and everything it says. So we haven't gotten official confirmation that The Walking Dead Season 10 has been, I guess, confirmed or renewed, right? A renewed order for it yet. But that, I think it's kind of a given. You know, I'm pretty sure that Talking Dead has been renewed already for that year, and then also you have on top of that Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride already signed on, I think, for a few more years of The Walking Dead. So, you know, I don't know if we really even need confirmation of Season 10. I think this is basically confirmation here. The fact that they're working on it, they're going to move forward with it and everything, and that's great to see. You know, I mean, that's a lot of what you can see with The Walking Dead when you look at, you know, every episode, and you look at how dense the episodes are, you look at how, you know, how much they're doing in each episode and how sophisticated the episodes are, how many different things are happening, and you have the different twists and turns as the episodes go through of each season. I personally feel like the show's gotten better at doing that type of thing. If you look at kind of the last few years, and how kind of advanced the plot is at certain times. Like, for example, at the end of All Out War, you have Negan, so he finds out that he's got a mole, so he gives false information, and then basically that goes through to lead the others into a trap. So, all these different things are kind of adding in there to do the different twists and turns and setup and back and forth. You could have just done it where, like, Negan just barges into the hilltop with everybody else and just attacks everybody. But, they're putting a lot more effort into it than that. They're probably starting with something like that, and then they're refining and they're adding. And all this stuff takes a long time to go ahead and kind of go through as they're planning out, mapping out each season. And then they are going to remap it. They're going to replan it. They're going to have each different person. And then, you kind of give it down all the way down. But I'm happy to hear that they're getting started working on it soon. I think that's a lot of probably why The Walking Dead is still successful after this many years, is because the amount of effort they put into each season and into each episode is probably unbelievable. When you look at it and just the amount of time they probably put into it. So good stuff. Happy to hear that everything is starting to get rolling on the next year. And I think that if I speak for everybody right now, or I speak for the community, I think from what I've seen this year, everybody is really happy so far with how season 9 turned out. Versus how it could have turned out, right? So, yeah, and then there was another one here from Michael Cudlitz, who said that he may direct an episode for Fear the Walking Dead. He said, I've also spoken to Michael Satrazemis, and we briefly chatted about me possibly going over to Fear the Walking Dead. But again, that would, again, be their choice. Cudlitz said, I let them know that I would love to do that. Now the ball's in their court at this point. So I'd love to see Michael Cudlitz direct another episode. I don't know about you guys. Leave a comment below. But I liked episode 7. I thought he did some really cool stuff in that, with Rosita at the beginning, and kind of, he spiced up. He made an episode that could have been a lot more, again, kind of basic, or a lot more kind of just not a spacer, it's a setup, but you guys know what I'm saying. There was good development and stuff like that in it, but I thought he did some really cool stuff in it, and I thought it looked great, and it was really well done, personally, especially for the first episode that he's done of The Walking Dead as a director. So that's really cool. So I'd like to see him direct some episodes of Fear. I think Coleman Domingo did a great job on Fear the Walking Dead as well. And I think that because they're in it, they already know it. They know what the game is. They've been on the other side of it. So when they switch sides, to go behind the camera and everything as directors and everything they have to do, obviously different set of responsibilities, and there's going to be a learning curve there for sure. But at the same time, they're familiar with the environment. They know the audience. They know the fan base. So they know what the fan base wants, right? You're not taking somebody who comes in, and even maybe they could be a good director, but they don't know The Walking Dead. They don't know the fan base, right? With Coleman Domingo or Michael Cudlitz, they know it. They know they've lived it, they've breathed it, they've been there with the fans. They know what the fans want, and so it's pretty simple. All they have to do is really give it to them, right? So good stuff. So I'd like to see him direct an episode of Fear. I think that'd be cool. This was a good comment from Mark Jameson, who said the whisperer behind the gate is Dwight, right? So that's cool, and that's something that we haven't probably discussed recently, but it was a topic earlier on this year after season 8 had ended, is where's Dwight? Now we've kind of mostly forgot about Dwight, right? But it is true that he could be a whisperer, and we'll have to see if that in fact ends up to be the case. Maybe isn't, but man, that would be cool. And also, because if Dwight came back, he could come back as, I would say, a hardcore villain, because the thing with Dwight is he's got kind of a tragic story, right? He helped them. So he went against Negan, he defied Negan, and he helped the survivors win the war. Without him, the survivors may not have won the war. They may have lost. So the decisions that he made in putting his neck out for them, and, kind of sort of getting caught at the end and everything like that by Negan and the others, he really risked a lot there, just for Daryl to basically exile him after. So for Daryl to just ban him afterwards, when really he was part of the reason why they won the war to start with. I mean, especially if you look at the episode around the mid-season finale for season 8, where his group is going into Alexandria and everything, and he basically becomes a team killer at that point, right? And if you remember Laura, she kind of sees him and everything like that, what he's doing. And, if you take that out of the equation, if you say that he just goes in and doesn't, team kill and do that whole thing, then, like the results of all that work could have been a lot different for sure. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see Dwight come back, and if he does, he may be, you know, all these years later, he may be totally with the Whisperers or whatever group he's a part of, and he may not be an ally to the survivors at all. They could probably do either one with Dwight. They could bring him back as a villain, or they could probably bring him back as an ally, I guess, too. But I would tend to side. He's a really good villain too, right? He's good at both. Austin Amelia was good at both. He was good at being sort of in season 8. A survivor on the side of the saviors to help out the survivors, and then prior to that he was an awesome villain. If you guys remember Denise and the other stuff there, I'm sure Tara Tara remembers that one, right? So that was that was pretty sweet. So he was a good villain too for Daryl and for Denise and Tara in that back in season 6 now. Wow, it feels like it feels so long ago, but it's only been a few years since that one. Well, I guess that is a few years is quite a while. Jay Legacy says, "You think Michonne will have Negan help Alexandria when the Whisperers get to it?" So I think so, man. I think that Michonne will use Negan. Of course, Rick's not there anymore, and Rick was adamant that he spend the rest of his life in that cell. But maybe he's been Judith's taken a liking to him. Maybe he's been a good, prisoner. The Saviors are disbanded. They're not, in existence anymore. Basically, they've been pretty much wiped out, killed by fire, right? So yeah, man, Negan is not really the same threat that he was before to them, and they may want to use him because he could be really good. He's smart as hell, right? So, he almost beat them. Really, if you think about the end of All Out War. The winning moment was Eugene. Eugene saved everybody. If it wasn't for Eugene, if he would have been on Negan's side and produced real bullets, how that whole thing would have ended out in the end, when you watch those episodes through, you could probably read it either way. It's up to your interpretation. But if it wasn't for Eugene, you could probably say that Negan would have won that. You know what I mean? He probably would have won that at the end. If Eugene was on his side and produced the bullets for him and that whole thing, and they didn't all backfire. Two Fierce Clan said, Trev, I grew over these years to like Tara because she is connected in saving Glenn for Maggie back in season 4. So that's true. We can't forget that she's an old school survivor from season 4 and everything. And so, yeah, I guess so. I think it's just nobody. This keeps being a comment. People keep talking about Tara because it's like nobody expected it. And yet she's still alive. So, it's kind of cool in a way. She has her fans. She's kind of polarizing. Some people like her, some people hate her. So, so that's what it is. Anthony Lee says, did anyone else find the Whisper War ended kind of flat in the comic book series? Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Whispers in the TV series because I think the Whispers are such a cool concept. In the comic book series, they were pretty awesome. But I think in the TV series, they could turn out to be a lot better all the way through. Last one will be from Trebecca's Finest, who says, did we ever find out who Lydia's father is? Answer, no, we never did. And, we probably never will. I get the sense that it's probably somebody who Alpha was with in her prior life before she lost her mind and sort of went into Whisperer mode and totally lost any sense of her humanity whatsoever. So I feel like it's probably somebody before the apocalypse started. Just some guy maybe she was married to, her husband or whatever, and they were probably killed during that time. But I can't recall if there's any mention of it ever. I don't think there ever was. Anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. The Walking Dead season 10 already underway. Them starting to get started on writing and everything. Beginning process of that season. Happy to hear that they're planning on it, and we're going to see a season 10. That's great stuff. And leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you all for subscribing. For the new viewers, you can subscribe as well too if you want. I would really, really appreciate it. And that's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video tomorrow. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.